Hello. How are you doing? Look at that. We got audio, we got video. And of course, as soon as I hit the start button, I'm gonna start coughing. That's normal around here. What do we got? Yeah, so it always shows a bunch of dropped frames in the beginning. Like most of the frames are dropped at the beginning. So I think we're stabilizing. We had a little issue with the starting up apparently at a time that the internet was not happy about it, which does happen. Usually it stabilizes. I'm showing four bars, which is kind of like a cell signal, but for OBS. Yeah, we're stabilized now, I think. Anyway, if it's messed up, hit refresh. It might work better. Yeah, we're gonna broadcast today over the airwaves to the Twitch community and also the YouTube Renos. We don't want to leave them behind. They're lovely people. So I broadcast live on both services. Pretty cool. And this is one of many, many, many billions of shows. It's a very large number that will be created today, brand new. A brand new show that's exactly like every other show. It's going to be fun, but it will be completely different also. But I'm just, I want to warm up a bit. I don't just want to jump into the flight simulator ring. You can barely tell that I'm playing. This guitar really sounds great, especially when you capo it. I don't know why. Okay, stand up and you can watch me play. But this is what the musical section will be like. Gotta move the chair back. How would that work? That looks good. This is something you never see me do in the intro. Little Kenny Wayne Shepherd. Anyway, I'll put this down. This is my last goodbye. It's a good song. I don't know if I'm a huge fan of Kenny Wayne Shepherd. Hold on a second. All right, we're still in the introductory section. It's going to be a nice long stream. Get settled down. If you want to watch the whole thing, you're going to be here for like 3-ish hours, and I don't know why anyone would be who's not me. But I'm looking forward to it. I got my beautiful blue Bluetooth controller ready to go. I have a freshly poured glass of Diet Coke. By the way, the supplies have run down to 0. I only drink one a day, but it's not like I'm going out to every store to buy them. I buy like 12-pack. And guess when the last time I bought a 12-pack was? 12 days ago. But you know what? Who cares? Either I'll get more tomorrow at the store or I won't. It doesn't really matter. I mean, you know what I mean? It's nice to have a little Diet Coke, a little relaxed, a little something consistently, whatever it is, consistently brown and fizzy and cold. Freshly poured into a glass with condensation, without ice to make sure there's tons of. I like it extra cold, and kind of slightly watered down. Plus, it gives you the ice gives you more body, gives you more time, gives you more refreshment. All right, so we've covered the Diet Coke, we've covered the beautiful Bluetooth controller. First, we're going to be flying around a Microsoft Flight Simulator with a flimsy simulator. And then there'll be the big brain games. Not optimistic, but it is what it is. Some we're going to win, some we're going to lose some. I can pretty much guarantee you that one. That's when I play the Quirtle, the Revealed, the Tightrope Trivia, the Reunion, the Loop, the New York Times Connection, and the Octurtle, in that order. After that, there'll be a short break while I recompobulate things, move some cameras around, Today's musical segment is brought to you by the Yamaha Revstar guitar. Once again, they do not actually pay me, but I like to pretend that they do. That it is sponsored, you know what I mean? It's pretend. I can pretend whatever I want. I'm going to sit around, I'm going to play the guitar, I'm going to dink around the guitar, I'm going to play the guitar, also talk about guitars, probably sing, which is, as always, the most important thing to know about the singing section is to know exactly where your mute button is at all times, because you're going to want to smash it just as hard as you possibly can, just as soon as you hear any kind of singing things. And if you're like, well, why don't you just stop singing so people can actually listen? Hey, get out of here. But anyway, okay, there's more too. As I mentioned, this is one of them 2-3 hour, maybe more long streams right here, broadcast live to you from the Kitchen 909 studios. Was that 3 nines? Anyway, 909. We're going to be building some Lego. This is what we got so far. We're building the brand new massive Lego kit. It's not massive. It's a good size kit though. It's called the Hubble Space Telescope Lego. Of course, we all know I don't know if we all do. The Hubble Space Telescope has been out there for like 30 years now. Pretty much ready to end whatever the heck it's doing. But man, it sure takes some good pictures. It's a massive thing. It's been serviced by the space shuttle crews. I guess hopefully we can. Oh yeah, you can attach them like here to like these things here. You can see how they like attach those little attachment points there. So you can move those spaces so he can like do his little duty. We're not gonna, but you can see we've got a lot to build. We've got this whole side to build here at the top, and then there's the solar panels and a bunch of detail work. I don't know if we'll get it all done today, but if we do, then it'll be complete, and if not, it'll be completed next time. This is not a big deal. I hope to complete today. There's just 2 bags, 8 and 9. Bags 8 and 9, and they're pretty small. All right, so let's get to the flying. I decided yesterday that that I should try today. We should fly the helicopter today. They just updated this helicopter, and so I'm trying it just a little bit before stream to make sure that it's not completely impossible to fly. It's not easy to fly. The helicopters seem about the same to me, which is not good. In a steady state flight, you can definitely fly around in them, things like that. But they all have individual like weird issues. But I thought because I'm always, first of all, I'm not a good helicopter pilot, but the only way to get good is to fly them, So we're going to fly the recently updated Bell 47 J2 floats. You have a choice of floats or skids. We'll stick with floats. We might want to land somewhere in Orlando. So what should we be, like a bright yellow? Let's switch to the bright yellow. It's pretty wild. I'm not going to try to cold start this. It's possible to do, but it takes a while, and I find it kind of dull. We may just do a quick kind of a couple like checkout flights with it. Maybe I'll try to land on a pond or something like that. Because the thing I like to is to find things that are, okay, this is Orlando. You can immediately see in Orlando, one thing they have is 1,000,001 places to land your, there's the big airport there. Most of the kind of like the, looks like most of the like the amusement park areas I think are in this area here. All right. Well, okay, no, some go further out. Like this is an amusement park area here. This is Disney. It looks like Disney does not really allow a lot of helicopter flyovers. Celebration. There's like a villas. We'll take off from here. All right, and again, not cold starting, just starting with the whole thing spinning, basically ready to fly. Again, it's kind of fun to cold start the things, but boy, just sitting there waiting for the rotors to kind of come up to speed, it's a couple minutes. It's like a minute or two. And that's assuming the fully started the engine. There's a lot of things to see in this area of central, Orlando, Florida. I mean, there's a lot of buildings, there's a lot of this, there's a lot of that. Okay, that's the default view. This is where we are. We're kind of at a hotel that happens to have a villas that happens to have a. I like you can see like the water is kind of, I think the air wash is on the water. Is that the effect we're trying to go for there? Yeah, I guess when we land on water, you'll really notice it. All right, so from here, the important thing is, okay, we got those, is I can raise the collective using this, right? No, yes, no, maybe. Is that raising the collective or not? Yeah, it is. Okay, good. What's on this thing here, by the way? Landing lights, engine start, and then governor, right? We should be able to get this thing up in the air. There we go. We're up in the air again. This thing is kind of like, whoa. You want to establish some kind of, movement before you can really get some kind of. So it looks like mirror. A little too low for this kind of shit. But I'm trying to establish that we can hover, carefully using rudder pedals. Okay, which way am I going? South. Giving it almost full power here. I think we want to head north. So we're going to head out this way. Alright, so far I haven't run into anything. I think it's kind of this way here. In terms of, we're going to hit the amusement park areas. Let's see, there's a very wide, there's a narrow and then like a really wide range view, and that's pretty much the only one you can really do anything. Okay, so this is now what it's looking like here. We're fine. But you can see a lot of buildings, a lot of interesting buildings. Advent Health, so I guess that was not an apartment building. So if we head over here, I don't know. I wish there was more points of interest pointed out. Discovery Cove, SeaWorld, Orlando. Is that around here somewhere? Some of those are like just resorts. I'm wondering if that's something over there. There's something in this direction. You gotta be careful when you're maneuvering from the outside. It's very hard. You want to see, orient yourself from the inside for making any kind of turns. Because the outside is very deceptive. You can't really see what you're doing. But I want to see what's up here. We're just going to explore the area. This is Orlando. So I'm planning a trip to Orlando. I always like to, obviously I'm not going to go everywhere. But it's nice to just kind of get a feeling for it. Now, when you're on the ground, Orlando has no visual cues. It is completely flat. So, you just have to have a map, with a GPS map lets you know where you are. But I think something might be up here. In any case, we're going to check it out. This might just be, I don't know. Let's see. You can usually tell when there's a big parking lot. But that's just resorts. There's a million resorts. I mean, they're not theme parks, but then there's some theme parks. But they're kind of isolated. They're not just all jammed up next to each other. The theme parks. But this is one of them. If I can figure out which one, well, it's not one of the majors, I don't think. But once we get to the major, if I can find the major, which I can do using the flight planner thing. Is this Epcot Center? Because Epcot Center has those has like an Italian style building, right? And it has a big central lake. I know it has a dome. Hold on one second here. Of course, you're not stable. You can't just fly. I just want to orient myself where I am. Because I think this is Epcot Center. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, well, let me just look up where Epcot Center is. Because it doesn't look like the Magic Kingdom. Bay Lake. Okay, yeah, it's not the... No, that is Epcot Center. Gotcha. Mission Space, Space 220 Restaurant. Okay, all right, just want to check, but yeah, this is Epcot Center here. This is what it looks like. I mean, it's a big one. It's a whole separate park. That's the entrance here under this dome thingy here. But then there's all these plazas around there that are world specific. You know, that's country specific. You can always tell when there's a giant parking lot somewhere that you're pretty much near it. But you can also see there's a monorail that goes from there to, I think, the Magic Kingdom. I don't remember for sure what, but this is all Disney property. Everything you basically see. Where's the Magic Kingdom? The Magic Kingdom is northwest. But again, you can barely see it till you're right there. But right on top of it, it's just the land is so flat. Okay, yeah, I gotta put some positive, some negative trim here. All right, there we go. There we go. So for steady state flying, the most important control you need to know is the trim, which is a helicopter trim, which, as you see, we're saying negative trim. And that keeps you effectively flying forward in a steady state. And if you trim correctly, you can trim to a vertical speed of 0, right? Meaning you're not losing or gaining altitude. This is the right direction. It's a ways, right? Okay, it's not to the size. Just want to make sure I don't miss it. But we're heading the right direction. We get from Epcot Center. And before we get there, I think there's like the resort. Contemporary Resort. We'll see. Yeah, I think I see the Contemporary Resort right ahead. That's the resort. Oh, I think I stayed there many, many years ago. That's because that was cool. That's the resort where the monorail goes in right through the center of the hotel and through the lobby, effectively, and which is a really cool fact that you never get over. It's the only, it's the only hotel of its kind that has a monorail, pretty big sized monorail trains going through it. And it's pretty cool. So you take the monorail, you can get to a couple different places, I think. When you see it ahead, it has that shape, and it's got like holes, that hole on the side, that kind of wedge shape. So that's Disney's Contemporary Resort. And then right, you can barely see it, but because it's in landscaped areas. But that's the Disney park. You can see Space Mountain right behind the resort here. I don't know if we'll be going specifically which parks are going, because there's like 10 theme parks. If you can say, oh, we'll go to at least one Disney park. There's 3 Disney parks, right? There's Epcot Center. There's the Magic Kingdom. So that's the Contemporary Hotel. You can see how the monorail. You can kind of see how the monorail goes through. Anyway, you can clearly see Spice Mountain. So this is Tomorrowland here. And then the rest of it, I don't know how detailed it gets in terms of, do the rides look like the rides? I don't know. Kinda, you want to be at a certain altitude, but yeah, that's the Magic Kingdom. I mean, the only one that seems really, really well defined is Space Mountain. And it's also kind of dirty, like Space Mountain. You get, hello. The Frontierland or whatever, the Magic Castle. Okay. All right, let's fly around some more to the east. And this is where I believe where the employees park, back this direction. And they take like underground shuttles or something. Pretty high tech. But yeah, this is all power generation for the park and stuff like that. It's amazing how much infrastructure they need. There's the park right there, but huge amount of infrastructure needed to keep it running. All right, so that's the main park. If we head east, fly that plane. We want to do this from in here, as I mentioned, because if you try to fly it from outdoors, from out there, it's very discombobulating. All right, which way is east? Magic Kingdom Park due east. We should fly over eventually. I mean, once we kind of get out of the Disney property, we'll be flying over like Universal. That might, I don't know what that looked like in the game. But there's a lot of stuff to see around here. And again, the key is to enjoy flying a helicopter at extremely at low altitudes. Boy, that's a really wide angle view. You get the either wide angle view or way too close or way even closer, which gives you a real telescopic view of what's going on in there. Oh, fuel left. It's kind of interesting stuff there. Preliminary check. Haven't seen any of this stuff. Okay. I think that's the default view. So I can adjust the mixture, right? Okay, perfect. Good. Mixture is manual on this. I don't know why it would be. I guess it's a piston engine powered. I'm not sure about that. All right, so we're going to cross this body of water. I see where we are on the map here, I believe. This is one of the bigger ones. Right? Oh, maybe this is Lake Sheen. Still heading east, right? But you know, so far again, just flying in helicopters is perfectly fine and easy and fun. The landing, you know, is not realistic because it's just not stable as you get close to the ground. It's very hard to establish a hover, which in a real helicopter you could do. But this kind of flying is is reasonably relaxing. I mean, just the steady state part of it compared to other things. So as long as, you know, I don't have to mess with the controls too much, as long as I have the, as long as I have the trim, the pitch trim set up reasonably well. At negative 15 is about right. Okay, there's another lake. There's a million lakes around here, you know. Big sand lake. What is one of these lakes? But we're heading right to downtown Orlando. You can see the buildings of Orlando ahead. Right? Oh, kind of in the distance there. I believe that's right. Or is there or is it over that way? I don't know. Find out. I'm gonna have to look at my I'm gonna have to look at my my little flight. Well, I'm tailing off here. Flight planner. See, I knew I was thinking something. This should tell me kind of the shape of these lakes here. Are pretty indicative. Excuse me. Okay, so that's Lake Sheen. Up ahead is Big Sand Lake, which we probably cross over this area here. Big Sand Lake, got it. This is Big Sand Lake up ahead. And then, yeah, we'll check out the Orange County Convention Center. It looks pretty cool. That's up ahead, right? We'll find out. It is what it is. Orlando is very spread out. There's a lot of lakes. There's a lot of, you know, people want to retire, live there, because the grandkids are going to want to come in and visit them, to go to the theme park. So it makes it easy. They don't have to travel. The grandkids will come to them. It's not my bag of things, but you can imagine that story is repeated millions of times in this area. Some of these, I bet some are, not all, but I bet some of these communities are 55 and older. Unless the grandkids are visiting. Kind of, you know, it's true. Anyway, so this is the Orange County. I think this is Orange County, right? Orange County Convention Center. But I think it's the biggest convention center in kind of in the Orlando area. But maybe there's an Orlando. I don't know. It's big. You can also imagine, yeah, just because of all the theme park activity, it also is a good place to host your convention. People are going to want to come to your convention, so they could also, you know, spend a couple extra days besides your convention to go to big parks. You know what I mean? It's that kind of place. And it's been that way for a long time. But they're always adding theme parks or rebranding theme parks. Like there's the Lego theme park, which was originally a different one. So let's see. Let's check this out here. This looks pretty cool. This is a very large convention center right here, which I think can be split up into multiple convention centers. Or there's one building. There's one section here. That's huge. But I think there's another building over here. Over here, this is also, yeah, this building isn't part of the convention center. I don't know what that is. I mean, it is, but this is just an enormous block of hotels And that's a hotel. We have a big hotel. It's not huge, but big hotel. That's one over there. And this is a cool looking building here. They got this facade with all this glass. And this is the actual convention center, as far as I can tell. I mean, or one of them. But you can see there's a bunch of these large buildings here. That one there back there, too. And this one has plenty of parking. All right, so we're at the convention center. I'm gonna do a little pause here because I'm looking at the. Now I know exactly where I want to see if we can find, where like actual WonderWorks. Where would be like an actual theme park? Okay, Universal Studios is due north. We should be able to make it there from here. It's a ways, but we should be able to at least find Universal Studios. And again, I mean, the tricky part is staying low. And but again, especially compared to some parts of the world like North Korea, we have plenty of interesting looking buildings to see, or water tanks or something like that. Okay, this is Lockheed Martin over there. Interesting. So I mean, Lockheed Martin's obviously a large aerospace manufacturer and contractor. But it's interesting that they have their own, not necessarily interesting, but good to see that they have called out their own helipad there. Lockheed Martin, it says MFC, I'm not sure what that means. I'm trying to avoid the power lines here. MFC, like manufacturing center of some kind? Looks like that looks like a test stand for rocket engines, frankly. I believe it is. Anyway, we want to head north. That's this way. If we keep heading north along this path, I believe we will hit Universal Studios. But I don't know. So that's... That trim is real sensitive. Okay, Orlando Crossings. I think that's basically just a shopping mall. It says H. There might be a helicopter landing pad there. It probably is. We can also land, like up there, there's going to be a seaplane landing port. And of course, we can land with those floats. We can land on any patch of water, which I'm going to be doing. This is, watch out for the power lines. Orlando Crossings, I think that's just a shopping mall. A small one, too. Actually, that's just a storage unit. Oh, there's a little carnival here. A little amusement park for people who don't want to go to Disney or one of the major ones. Probably cheap, cheap for little kids. I don't know. That's a dinky sized one though, compared to the big ones. Okay, we're heading. Okay, I just want to see where I am again, because I don't want to get too lost here. Okay, so we're heading north. From there. Where was the convention center? So we're heading north from there. Yeah, I think it might be on the other side of this main road here. I wonder if it's over there. But I think we still want to keep going north. Oh, let's just see what's up here. There's definitely a lot of little parks and stuff. Okay, that's a major intersection there. And this road heads kind of northeast. Or does it head directly north? It heads directly north. But I think it might be down that way. Maybe we passed it now. Okay, hold on a second here. So there's this main node going north, and then this one going west, and there's that lake there, and this right ahead is okay. There's a okay, I know where I am. So yeah, we passed it. Universal Studios gotta make a turn. That's fine. It's south, due south of this intersection here. So we gotta pass it. That's fine. That's why you make a turn. That's why you can turn in a helicopter. So I think basically it's in kind of a pretty, what I call a landscape setting, so you wouldn't necessarily see a lot of it from the outside. I think it's up here. And of course, Universal, I think that's where all the Hogwarts stuff is, but I doubt they'll be represented in the game that accurately, but I think it's this area here. Universal Studios, Florida. Yeah, that's right up here. I can kind of see the topography of this lake here. And then what you can see is obviously, I'm going to come up a little bit, because if we get too low, it's just not going to work. A big parking lot. Things that kind of look like studio buildings, and maybe at one point they want to evoke a studio, but it's always was built as a decent park. So there's that section there. Most of the actual park, I think, is over here, kind of on this little watery section here, and they have stuff going on. So there's what it looks like from the air. I don't know. It doesn't look like it much, but that's Universal Studios Florida. These are not really that well represented. Those are obviously large roller coasters. And then I think, okay, hold on a second here. So is there two parks here? There's Universal Studios Florida. There's a separate, Universal Islands of Adventure is, I kind of think maybe is technically, which is this area here, is like a different admission, separate admission park. I'm not sure about that. But hey, they do that. They can do that, and they are very large areas. But you can see they're next to each other. But I think, is one of these supposed to be the like a replica of the Colosseum? I think you can see here. You can definitely see there's some interesting architecture here, and I think it would be fun to explore these places from the ground, from the air. And this is not a Disney property. I just wonder if they're going for the Colosseum or something here. Pretty wild. Yeah, it looks like that is. Obviously it's a theater on the inside, I think. But like Epcot Center, I think they have international plazas, Blue Man Group, you can see definitely some detailing on the side of the studios. And you say each one of these buildings, it looks like a studio. It is a studio. Like these things here. Some of them may be working studios, like in Universal Studios California, there is a section of it that is working studios and a section of it that is just an amusement park. There's a bunch of stuff happening down here, but I don't know what it is. This might be the Hogwarts area, which way we're heading, right? Because it's starting to look like maybe that's Hogwarts, is what I'm saying. Okay, so we flew from there. Yeah, Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey. So that's Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey. That's kind of the main, I believe, one of the main. So Universal Islands of Adventure includes Jurassic World and Hagrid's, which is all around here. It's down that way. But and oops, shoot. Okay. Well, it's going to be. I want to spend 5 or 6 days here. I have my, and it won't just be me and some friends. So that'll be nice. We got a golf thing going on here. Okay, I'm gonna land this bad boy. Attempt to land. What is down here? Hold on a second. I got my Google Maps up right here. So we're going south. Atomic Tonic. This is Universal's Cabana Bay Beach Resort. So this is in fact a Universal-owned resort for people who want to stay right next to the Universal Park. You're not going to walk it still, but it's still close. These are really kind of cool looking. But that's typical. There's a lot of places to stay up here. So there's a lot of availability, except on the biggest holidays, then things will fill up. But other than that, you can find a place to stay. All right, let's land at this, there's something lake over there. All right, again, it's kind of crazy from the outside, but it's a little easier to understand what's going on from the pilot's view from the inside. But we are going to start to kind of slow down a little bit here. So I got my analog control here. We're going to land kind of at that lake up ahead. Again, being that we have floats on this helicopter, as you can see down there, any place with water should be fine. And that does make it a lot easier, because landing on a little point, like a little helicopter thing there, is hard. But we're actually landing up ahead is a place where seaplanes can apparently land and take off from. I believe that's what that symbol means. So we'll check it out. If it says H, it's a helicopter landing pad. And those are hard. Well, but the trick is, don't try to do it from out here. And remember, you're probably going to need to use your foot pedals, because even though it doesn't seem to, because when you slow down, that's when the plane really wants to rotate, or the helicopter wants to rotate a lot more. But I want to slow down and kind of land, as close as I can to that center point there. I was like, and apparently there is some kind of port here for seaplanes, and maybe they would take helicopters too. I think, or seagoing helicopters. I wouldn't want to land on the ocean. In the real world, it's probably going to be quite Sand Lake. Choppy, it'd be hard on it. But these little lakes, I'm sure, are quite calm. So I'm not sure why there's a little base there, but the collective. What are we doing? Are we underwater? What? I mean, I crashed, but that's a wild effect, though. All right, let's do some takeoffs, some little takeoffs and landings here. But that's a discerning effect, though, on the water. I mean, it makes it a little confusing to know when you're about to land. But I guess I was too fast. But I just want to come up here and see if I can figure out how we land on water. I'm happy to land real slow. It's just the visuals are very confusing, which makes it kind of hard. I mean, I think the effect that's really harming us is this attempted splash here. Okay, so we landed that time, but look what it's doing. I think that's a little too much. I think they need to rework that. But we are in the water. We kind of effectively landed, and you can kind of see it looks like we're moving. Well, we're kind of moving. That's with the collective at a minimum. All right, let's see if we can land at an actual helicopter. I'll show you how much harder it is to do that. All right, let's take off from here so you can see we're taking off. Yeah, this water helicopter vortex over water effect needs to work. But at least they're trying. Okay, so there's a couple places to land a helicopter over here, and you're going to see how hard it is to land. I will see how hard it is, because it is really hard to land a helicopter on a little spot. But let's try it. At least that ground illusion, that swirling ground illusion, is not an issue. I mean, you'll see it has a little kick up of dust and stuff like that. But I mean, you should be able to basically hover 10 feet over a spot, jiggle your thing around and land on a spot in a real helicopter. They are quite stable. Once you get to a kind of, as long as there's not too much wind, once you get to a ground effects, stability with the ground effects, basically. The rotor is providing the exact right amount of downforce at that low altitude on a flat surface. Then they're pretty stable. They're not going to go zipping around. But in this game, they're not the most stable things in the world. And this helicopter, I don't know if in particular they all are, is extremely sensitive to very tiny movements of the collective. It has something that you don't have in the real world. An assemble thing is the collective and the throttle are on the same control. And in the real world, the pilot has to manage the throttle and the collective. In the game, it's a little tricky. Most of the time, it's basically almost always set up that the collective and the throttle are managed by just by the collective, so it's auto throttle, and that's nice because it's already too crazy to try to control these things. All right, we've got to I don't want to land on a building. Hopefully we can find a parking lot, kind of a thing. What if I don't know how close this is to where we took off from. But there are like hundreds of helicopter landing pads. That's one of the advantages of the game. I mean, plus you can land in the middle of an intersection or whatever. It's not illegal, in this world. So it's some kind of ranch premium heliport. That sounds too fancy for me. Seven Springs Ranch. I think we did take off from here, didn't we? Maybe not. Yeah, we did take off from here. We ended up in the same place that took off from. Hey, what was a flight? That's exactly where we took off from. Wow. But that's going to be hard to land at. Let's land in this field over here. That's going to be challenging enough. Nice big field to land in. Less collective. And just basically watch by looking at the terrain to understand where you're going up or down. And just kind of slowly go down. About as good as I can do. Skid there. At least they didn't say I crashed. Whew. Landing these things is a white knuckler. And, you know, probably true in the real world, too. Alright, so I believe I can shut this engine down by hitting the mixture to 0, right? Yeah, hear the engine shutting down there. There's got to be a rotor brake somewhere. But I don't know where it would be. It's usually... Oh, maybe that's a light. Rotor brake. It doesn't need one. Boy, that rotor slows down by itself really fast. Interesting. I wonder if these doors open. Oh yeah, the one I had while we're in here. I've barely. This is like the second or third time I've ever been in here. What are these? Do these do anything? That's all communications. What I want to see is under settings, rotor governor. Got it. So auto or manual. Okay, it's on manual. Classic cockpit. Yes. No. Rain cover. We can put that on. We'll put the stairs up and the rain cover on. There's the rain cover. Windshield datum mark. Interesting. Okay. Let's take the rain cover off. How do you go back? A home. And then you can have a map. Okay. We don't need that, obviously. Just checking things out. It's a nice little simulation of that two-bladed helicopter. I guess, is it really only one person? I guess there's one person that is a pilot and 2 seats or 3 seats in the back. You can see how the motor is in there under that shroud there. But I think there's some configurations where that shroud isn't even there. It's not necessarily needed. The kind of thing that's kind of sticking out there, I think it's optional. And so are the doors. I thought there was, in fact, I thought under settings, I thought there was a way to remove the doors, but I don't see that. Some of them do have that. But clearly we don't. Okay. All right, and can you open the door? They have a door opener. Cabin door. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, we'll go outside. Okay, fine. All right, well, and there's the stairs. You can see those. Just, fun little things. Very detailed. Danger, absolutely true. The tail rotor is extremely dangerous. Surprisingly. I mean, you don't want to mess around with the helicopter. All right, well, that was fun. How you doing, Amy? We just flew around a little Orlando in the helicopter, which is scary. But that is it for the flying. We've been flying, for like 45 minutes or so, 40 minutes. I'm planning a trip this year to Orlando with some friends of mine, so I like to scope out the terrain before I go someplace. Before I travel someplace, I do a lot of flying around. Just to kind of get the lay of the land, where things are in. This is a really pretty one. I mean, they just updated this, the Bell C something, I forget what it's called. But it has a beautiful canopy. It's kind of got this really old-fashioned, I guess we can do hold on. You can see it has, very old-fashioned, simplistic technology stack there. So it's a nice, simple helicopter. Okay, we got this, with magnetos. I'm just trying to familiar myself. There's some start buttons down here, I think, or down there. No, the start button is on the this little thing here, and I've got it collected up to my analog controls, so I can control those. And that's another. I don't know. It seems fairly intuitive and one of the easier helicopters to fly. But again, I never do it. I find them kind of stressful. I'm trying to relax. But I had a good time. Got a little Diet Coke here. Okay, I'm going to move on to the big brain games. It's just something we do every time at this juncture. Right. For that to occur, one of the things I want to do is go into the just chatting category again. Because technically that's what I'll be doing. Chatting, I mean, it is what it is. How you doing, Amy? It's good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Okay, so let's actually, I do want to quit out of flight sim. But if you enjoyed the flight simulating, guess what'll happen tomorrow? More. It's just part of what I do every single time. I might, there's a bunch of other choppers that I haven't flown, so eventually I kind of want to get them all in. But I don't know about next time. Oh, we're going to play together on stream tomorrow. Cool. What are we going to play? Fortnite, I hope. Let's see. Where we go? Big Brain Game number 1. I've never played it, but I think it looks like fun. Quirtle. All right, we're going to start with the Extreme Quirtle. It's just, you know, what it is. It's a warm-up game in the Big Brain games. Well, it's the first one. Now, I always, you know, I already played the Wordle in the mornings, the first thing in the morning. Got it in 3 today. We got pretty lucky. Noisy, plate, and crumb are my regular 3 starting words, so I don't really have to think too hard, and we can do these fairly quickly. Okay, what is this one? Lower left here. Oops. Lower left. Your last scenery project and starting something new. Well, I'm good. That's fun, and keep me posted because, you know, I'm always interested in. I'm surprisingly often interested in scenery. Not every piece of scenery, obviously. I can't afford that kind of thing. But I bought quite a few pieces of scenery, and you know, I still enjoy the Weaverville content. We haven't been there in a while, but I'm going to go back soon. And of course, that ranch I bought, and it's a bunch of cool stuff. All right, I think this word on the lower left is going to be colic. C-O-L-I-C. It just is a thing. It's in the dictionary. All right, that's the only easy one there. And then this one is going to be oosh. It's going good, Samson. Thank you very much. Really? You have a discount bundle? Okay. On Orbix? Well, I'll check the site later. I got to see. These are all going to be hard. I'm going to have to come up with some random guesses here. We don't really know much about these words. Yeah, well, yeah, please do if you can. I don't know if you could whisper it to me possibly on Twitch, or you could put it publicly on the chat, or you could put it on my Discord. There's a variety of ways, always a variety of ways of communicating with me, and which I'm open to. I'm not like, you know, locked away or anything like that. But boy, I got to think of some words here. Just anything that can fit. Okay, let's see. Let's see. For example, lower left could be dozen. I mean, it's probably not, but it could be because, you know what I mean? All right, could have been. And that's helpful. Because the D and the Z. But now I think it's going to be woven. This could be a hard one today. Yeah, oof. But that W is useful here. So now I think this word on the upper right is going to be tweak. Now that it can't be tweed. Okay, well, at least we got 2 words today. We're not going to win this one. Do I want to have a play of in Flight Simulator tomorrow? Absolutely. Come on by. Regular time, 11:30 a.m. The only server that they have is Eastern US, right? That's the default one. But you're more than welcome to come in by. All right, so now they see the K, so we're going to get woken, but we don't have enough guesses because I got too many wrong to get the upper left one. So we know it's woken on the lower right. This word on the upper, I just want to know what it is before I click it, or, you know, it'll tell me. I think it's going to be no, it's not turbo. Because there's no B in it, right? Tutor, T-U-T-O-R. The upper left word is T2, tutor, T-U-T-O-R. Okay, so we ran out of guesses. So, but at least I knew what the word was. You have a limited number of guesses. If you don't get in the right number of guesses, it's a loss. But that was kind of a hard one. All right, I think I'm having a good time. We're starting to go into the games that go slowly enough that if you want to help out, if you have an idea of what the answer is and you're in chat, you're more than welcome to type it in. It's optional. But some people enjoy helping out with the big brain games. I don't know if they're here today. It doesn't matter. So this is the second Big Brain game. It's a daily game from Britannica.com. It's called Revealed. Our category is arts and culture, and we know because the answer, they tell us how many letters there are, which is 10 letters in today's answer. And then they give us this heavily redacted document, which we're going to read. I'm going to read this out. Ultimately, we can decide to unredact some number of these, but only a few of them to try to help us figure out what this thing is. You can't find my Discord on Twitch. You know, just so that, here, hold on a second here. I don't want to do that here. Hold on. How do you do this? Server invite link. Hold on. I'll put it in my Discord just in case. And it says, oh, only do this to friends, but I don't care. I'm gonna put it in my, I'm gonna put it here. You should be able to find my Discord server from that. If you're curious, if you can't find, and I can see they don't make it that easy to find it. It's not that easy to find, and that's the way Discord works. They kind of want people to be invited to a server. They don't necessarily want you to search it out, and I also don't put it in my bio belowhand. But that should, if you really want to join my Discord, all it really shows is occasionally when I can't stream or whatever, I'll say, oh, I'm not streaming today, which might be Friday because I have a dental thing, so we'll have to see how I feel after that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Anyone can join. You can join, of course. Oh, yes, you can. Yes. Anyone in chat. There's no, if you're an asshole, I can ban you. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not, there's no skin off my nose to join. I don't make any money. You don't spend any money. It's so absolutely. But again, the only thing is I post my daily Wordle resorts, which Wordle, not the Quirtle. All right, let's see. Okay, let's read this up. I don't want to be here all day. Actually, I don't mind. All right. So the thing we're looking for is a blank, blank made of equal parts, blank, 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 and blank, blank. Of probable blank blank, but influenced by an blank blank. Although a blank is similar to a blank, the former is blank in blank equal and distinct parts, with the blank typically blank onto the blank in blank, while the latter is a blank of one part blank and two parts blank blank blank, with only a blank blank of blank on top. Huh. Oh, you made a friend request? Give me a second here. So you have to, do I have to, I might have to approve them, right? Yeah, because okay, the Amy's there. I'm waving back. But yeah, you should be able to join my my Discord. 1 second here. All right, what is it? Equal parts blank, 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 and blank. All right, I just want to see what this part is. Espresso. Okay, it's a drink. It's 10 letters. And cappuccino has 10 letters. You do Love Connection also. Okay. All right. So I was looking for something that has that I know has espresso in it. So that was a useful thing. We only needed that one reveal. I kind of felt it was some kind of food item, but I wanted to know what the ingredients were. Any of one of those would have been good. How you doing, Jeff? Good to see you. Nice to welcome in. We're just getting started with the big brain games. All right, that's a win because I only needed one thing. We were able to get cappuccino for 2 reasons. Plus, first I knew it was cappuccino, and secondly, I knew how to spell cappuccino. Come on, look at that. That's not easy to spell. I didn't even have to double check that on the internet. Other players, there's cappuccino. Other players needed 3 reveals and 1.9 hints. 84% eventually solved it, meaning a high solve rate. But we did a lot better than them with today's solve, so that is a win. So the next game I like to play, in the order I like to play them, is called the Tightrope Trivia. This game I will not be asking for help in because it is timed. It's a multiple choice 9-question trivia game that's where the biggest part of your score is how fast you get the questions right, not whether you get the questions right. Well, you got to get them right and fast. They saved the hardest questions for Sunday. It's graded over the week. Monday's the easiest, gets harder and harder, hard. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday's hard. Sunday's the hardest. I rarely know half of these things. And so I just want to let you know in advance, if I win the Sunday quiz or even cross the Sunday quiz, that's pretty amazing. Let's have some Diet Coke and then I'm going to jam into it. And remember, as soon as I hit that play button, the timer starts. All right, I'll look out for it. Samson on Samson something. I'll remember. I mean, I don't get that many friend requests, but I'll try to remember that it was from earlier today. But it could be anytime. You know, I'll be around all day today. All right, let's go. Grant Woods is painting what is Whistler's mother is or sorry, I said I clicked the right thing. American Gothic is the guy standing up with a pitchfork. Kurt Vonnegut. By the way, that's Kurt Vonnegut Jr., not Kurt Vonnegut. Soundwave 1. I should watch, I'll watch 22. Maybe, though. I mean, for also kept as a pet. Chinchilla? Oh, my God. Lucky guess. No idea. I mean, it was a fur animal. I knew that had to do with fur. Jekyll's salubrious. A strong Bloody Mary. Oh, egg white omelet. Oh my God, I had no idea what that word means, apparently. Which area in 1979? I think wasn't India. Wow. You'd think it would have been India, but of course, how would he have gotten to India? It costs a lot because it's made from which stone? I think this the blue one, ultramarine one. It's already a hard one. Each with its own circulatory system. 8 functional segments. The liver? I thought that's a hard one too. Shit. Oh, I'm already screwed. That's fine. I had a good time. Maid of the Mist carries passenger what? I know Maid of the Mist is in Niagara Falls. Because I just happen to know Niagara Falls trivia. Different there's a term for underwear. Snickers, because of knickers with a K. All right, well, we barely crossed that bad boy. But as I said, if I cross the Sunday quiz, I'm pretty freaking happy. We won't get to my 2,000 point threshold. They give you point ratings because I have arbitrarily set that as the winning rating. We didn't get that far from it. But yeah, if you get 2 wrong, you're probably not going to get to the 2,000 point threshold. It doesn't matter. It's not like I get paid if I win. But I got the ones I got. I got a few guesses right, and the ones I didn't know. That's fine. All right, so there's more games to play. We're moving. We're powering through them. Or powering through the big brain games in the order I like to play them. All right, so we're coming up to the reunion. That's kind of the mid game here, mid part of the game. It's like a crossword puzzle, except you don't get any clues. You just got to suss out what the words are based on the color clues that we have. Green means they're in their final position. You can't move them. Yellow means they're on the correct row or column. And white means they're not on the correct row or column. That's what that means, literally. I mean, it takes a while to figure out what that means. But for example, this S here that I'm highlighting is on the row. The B is on the row, but the C and the S could be on the row or could be on the column that they're in, because they're in both a row and a column. But let's see. The S, and we know this P is on the column. Could it be a word? I don't think it could be. P can't really go there. And this B is on the row, and B usually begins a word that it's in. Like, it would be a BR word. So I'm just going to guess that the B is over here. Okay, and it wasn't. Could it be 2 words? 2 B's? Yeah, I think it's going to... Okay, now that I look at it, okay, I think this word is going to have 2 B's next to it. That's... At least we got... How you go? Hi, Donnie. It's good. It's going good. Just playing the big brain games. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Just doing the regular old stream, moving through the various things I like to do. Big brain games. Taking my time. We got a lot of time, and I got a lot of streaming to do because I'm going to play the guitar for the music segment. Maybe we'll do a little "Wish You Were Here" on the old karaoke, and which I haven't done in a while. Since you're here, you always liked it. Yeah, I'm done with flying already. That usually it's the first hour, the first 50 minutes or so. But there'll be more flying tomorrow, and the future streaming days, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But yeah, we're bigger in games, and then there'll be the break. Then there's going to be me playing the guitar right over there, and then there's going to be the Lego. If you haven't seen, by the way, because you just I'm building this brand new kit. It's called Lego kit. It's called the Hubble Space Telescope. Well, obviously, the Hubble Space Telescope's been up a long time. You see, it's partially built. That's kind of the camera system. You can see inside there. There's effectively an aperture and a kind of a mirror system, and then these little doors that come on and off. So I want to possibly complete building it. Possibly complete building it today. Yes, it is a Yamaha. This is, I believe I put it in the title. It's one of my newest guitars. Since I had this, I think it's April or May. I got this, maybe June, May. I think it's a Yamaha Revstar. I only play this game. I play a lot of the games, but not on camera, not on live. No, I like to play a game where I can talk and yap. Okay, look, what is this word that CR something something B? What could that word? Crumb, CRUMB. But do we have another M? Oh, we do. So I can't think of any other word that starts with CR and ends in B. And that we have the letters for it. It can't have an A or an I in it because these would be yellow or, green. And we don't have an O. There's no O's that are mobile. We only have U, and that's it. Or, yeah, that's it. So it literally has to be a CRU. And then we have another M. So at least we can suss out that word. Okay, and that word, this one turned S. I still don't know what we got here, though. But I'm going to take it. Yeah, you got crumb. We got crumb there. Yeah. All right, community effort. Now, if you can see what this, like one of these, we have these words on the right that are vertical. Or if anything that looks like it might be a word, let me know, because I'm gonna take my time on this one. We got a word that has something. Is it gonna be cabbage? CABBAG? Yeah. Okay. So we sussed out this word on the upper right, on the right. That's gonna be cabbage, which is an A because we have all the letters. So that's good. So we know the ending letter for all the horizontal letters. We know this word here on it has the E and A. There's an S, right? And that S can only be in the first or third positions. And I think it has to be the beginning. And so I think that word's going to be sepia, SEPIA, because the S can go here. The P can go here, and we have several, thank goodness, available I's, and that's a word. All right, we're doing good. We're not doing perfect. Again, the goal is to get this in 17 moves or less, but you cannot go backwards. You cannot undo it. If you make a mistake, that counts as your move. What is this word? We don't have an X, so there's not excuses. It's focuses. No, it can't be focuses because the F would be yellow. Could it be? That's kind of weird. And there's no O, so it can't be focuses. What is that word going to be? And then there's those T's that need to go. I mean, is that going to be attic at the top? It's not going to be focuses. It's going to be accuses. Got it. Okay, because we have the C. Okay. All right. I've sussed out what all the letters are. I'm just going to run through them. Attic, and then this is going to be accuses. So I'm just going to run through them. Again, we're going through letters, and then the last one is going to be faux. And then we see we have thump there. So we got in a nice 16 today. That's a win. 17's a win. Sorry, I just want, once I got all the letters, we'll take a look at it. You see other players, we need a 16. Other players on average need a 19. My average of playing this game, with the community is 17, which is why a 17 is a win, but a 18 is not, because it's moving our average the other way. We've gotten as low as a 13. Yesterday, I believe I got a 15. But a 17 is a win, and a 16 is a good win. All right, there we see attic. We got thump, cabbage, accuses. Sepia was good to figure out, and I think crumb, where we had the CR and the B, and basically there's nothing else it could be. That really helped. But again, you want to get those words. All right, I had a good time doing that. The next game, there's a couple more to go. It's called The Loop. It's a relatively new game. They've been only doing it for like 6 months or less. All right, so we got here. You missed the flying. Yeah, we flew around. I actually flew in a helicopter, which is like rare. The Bell got updated. The Bell, one of those, I don't remember the number. And I'm planning a trip to Orlando, so I'm like, I'll fly the helicopter around Orlando. It's fine. We'll see you next time. Come by next time if you can. All right, but thanks for coming by. Say it. and we'll talk in the Discord maybe. All right. So in this loop game, they give you, it's all pictograms. Pictograms, literally, that's what it is. Pictograms. You have to understand what you're looking at. We're looking at a bright orange exclamation point. That's our anchor pictogram. But then we got to figure out the connections here. So that is a jacket of some kind, like a ski jacket, maybe. And that is what you call those, like a water bottle or something. It's not a water bottle. It's the thing that comforter thing, hot water thingy. Okay, oof, hot water bladder maybe. And that is a cow with a hole in it. Holy cow! Okay, holy cow is an exclamation. So I'm sure those are related. Let's see what we got. We have a single link of a golf course, a hole. And we have a golf tee. I'm just going to put these in random places, but we know golf tee is going to relate to golf course. Also, golf tee looks a little like an exclamation point, but let's see what else we got here. Home sweet home. Like those things crocheted. That is a knight, but he's showing off his shield. So I think it's more like shield. And we have a windshield and a shield. That's a windshield and a shield. So we'll put those together for now. This is a person getting an injection of some kind. And we have a tea bag. Okay, this is a golf tee. That's a tea bag. They're clearly connected. Okay. And then we have, this is an icebreaker. Icebreaker. Okay, so we've got the exclamation point and holy cow. What would the cow might be connected to? So far, the only other things I'm sure of is there's a windshield and a shield. There's a golf course, the tee that would go on the golf course, and a tea bag. This is a bag. So maybe the tea bag would be this bag, but I don't think they're necessarily connected there. So let's leave that there for now. And then we have an icebreaker. I guess this is an ice bag. So I'm kind of thinking maybe this is you put ice in here to cool you down, and this is an icebreaker. It's got ice involved. And then we have a home sweet home. An injection of some kind. And I mean, is that like a parka? A jacket of some kind? What would be connected to the windshield? Or the knight with the shield? And we still haven't figured out what that is. Where that might go. I've got to think about this. This is a hard one. I like it. All right, let's think again. Again, I have reasonably good confidence that the exclamation point and the holy cow go together, but not that this is random. But the icebreaker, the thing that you put ice in, the tea bag, they're both bags that hold things. The tee, golf tee, the golf hole. What would go next to that? Oh, maybe the golf hole goes next to the holy cow. So that means that all this stuff would go here, like that, and that. That might make it easier if possible. It's possible these go together like that. Whoops, what did I just do? I messed up something. All right, no, I messed up something. Okay, so there's the golf hole. The tea bag, which has the ice bag. Yeah, okay, this is the order I wanted to do things in. And I guess the parka, because you're cold, right, from the icebreaker, so there's a you need to wear your parka. Hello, something froze up on me. This happens occasionally. Okay. My computer's slowing down or something. Sometimes you gotta refresh it. Something's operating in the background. I don't know what. Okay, so this exclamation point. See, I'm thinking, and this is needle point, so that's why I'm gonna put that there. All right, well, we're gonna have to see what's going on here. Pretty good. Oh my goodness. I do that. By the way, I have to yell every time we do this as a perfect storm. So I actually kind of magically got lucky and sussed out all the connections. It only happens occasionally, and only once I get lucky. I had a good feeling about it, but you have to have played this game a few times to even get anywhere near this. But that's a perfect game. Normally, you can check, and it'll say, "Oh, here's the ones you got right, and here's the connections you got right, and here's things that are not connected, just in the wrong place." But we got them all the first time. That's a really, really good result. I mentioned that the big brain games, I do a bunch of them. There's 7 of them. They're always a mixed bag. I'm never going to lose all of them or win all of them. But let's just check how they link again. It'll say here, exclamation point, holy cow. Golf courses have holes. I got that one. Golf tee, tee bag, ice breaker. Got it. I knew that was an icebreaker. Windbreaker. I didn't quite get that there was a windbreaker, but I figured maybe it was cold. Wind shield, knowing that this is a windbreaker and that's a windshield, and I just didn't get the wind shield. We'll get to that. Right. Okay. Vaccine. Okay. You're reading ahead. So it's a shield, that windshield and the shield I got. Vaccine and shields grant protection. I kind of thought maybe, I wasn't saying that, but maybe. And then I did get needlepoint, and eventually I got that this was needlepoint and that this is a needle. I didn't think it was going to be right. Let's see how we did compared to other people playing today's game. We have a 47 win streak, 99% win. Today's stats will show how we did. This was considered a 3 out of 5 difficulty level. Only 6% of players were able to suss out the correct loop connections the first time, like we did. So we're in the top 6%. And everyone else, as we like to say, they are the R word. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's move on. There's 2 more games left to play. And this one's kind of interesting. I mean, they're all kind of interesting to me, at least. But it'll be the connections from New York Times, and then I'm going to do an Octoral. But the connections, as always, they give you a selection of 16 words and or short phrases, and you got to suss out what the 4, how they go together in groups of 4, but they don't tell you what the affinity is. And there's often a fake fifth affinity group. There's also wordplay and homonyms, antonyms, precedent and antecedent words in play. So let's just figure out if we can suss out what at least one of these things is. One of these groups are. And also they're graded, some of the easier ones. Okay, let's read this out. Antifreeze, vacuum, baking soda, volcano, vinegar, vodka, tinderbox, potato battery, skiing, home fries, club soda, powder keg, hydrogen peroxide, bazaar, vichyssoise, and time bomb. Wow. Huh. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, okay, I think the obvious one here is going to be time bomb, powder keg, tinderbox, and volcano, things that can explode. Don't you think? I mean, it's definitely, those are things that can explode. But I want to think about it for a bit. Tinderbox could also be Tinder, which is a dating site. And I'm wondering whether any of these others could be something like that. You know what? Let's just go for it. I'm not 100% sure of this one by any means, but I'm moderately sure of it. Okay. Potentially explosive things. We were right. I was right. Nobody's helped me. I don't care. But I do these on my own on the Tuesdays and Thursdays on stream anyway. You know, just use it every day. Okay. Vinegar, vodka, antifreeze, potato battery, skiing, home fries, club soda, vacuum, 2 U's in it. Vacuum has 2 U's. Antifreeze has 2 E's. Skiing has 2 I's. Well, that's fine. Oh, no, you're welcome to watch. And Bazaar has 2 A's. Vichyssoise has 2 S's in it, which is kind of bothering me. But these have double vowels. It's worth trying. Again, it's either I'm either right or I'm wrong. double vowels. I was right. That's the easy one too. Okay, moving on. Okay, we only need to get one more because once we get what the next group is, then the last group falls out. But this could be but these are the hard ones here. Let's figure out, I'm going to do a little shuffle here. Potato battery, home fries. Those are both made out of potatoes. Vichyssoise is, I believe, a potato dish. And vodkas are made from potatoes. You know, vodka is a potato dish. Home fries are typically potatoes. I believe vichyssoise is a you know, like a stew with potatoes. And a potato battery obviously has a potato in it. I'm just gonna try it though. Okay, we're doing good today. Made with potatoes. It seems like that's going to be... normally, they don't put the name... If it's made with potatoes, they don't put potatoes in the clue. You know what I'm saying? So that seemed a little obvious. And this one here, baking soda, vinegar, club soda, and hydrogen peroxide. These are ingredients for... they're things that if you mix together, they will kind of explode or foam up. I'm not really sure what they're going for. But doesn't matter because it'll tell us. And we got it perfect. Household stain removers. Oh, I was not going for that. That makes sense though. Baking soda, club soda, hydrogen vinegar. I would not try to remove a stain with vinegar, frankly, personally, but you know, doesn't matter. That was a perfect. There's one more game. Before we switch to the music category, let me just cue this up. It's Octortle. Again, it's a lot like the Quirtle and the Wordle, blah, 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 except I do the hardest one, which is the rescue. I don't get to use my powerful 3 starting words. It gives you 4 random ones. So the game is very random in that it could be extremely hard or just super hard. All right, let's see if I can figure out. Let's see. Let's see. This one's interesting. The S can only go in 2 or 4. And if it goes in 4, then it's LASE. I don't think there's any LASEs. So if it goes in position 2, then it's LSA somethings. So it's... Oh, lease. Duh. All right, the lower right word one there. I'm looking at this one here. Only possible word. There's always a few that basically can only be one thing. All right, what else do we know about this word here? There's an E somewhere. We know the E is after the I. So it could be spied, S-P-I-E-D. It also could be shied, S-H-I-E-D. Let's try spied. No, that'd be spelled differently. I think that could be a word. Oh, let's just try it. I got lucky. Okay. But again, this is the last game, and I've got all afternoon, so I'm having a good time. I do these every day. In fact, I'll probably do the other ones. I do 5 of these Quirtles and 5 Octurtles every day, and I'm just doing 2 of them on this little section here. All right, we have an S, and we know there's an I somewhere. And it's either at that ends in IE, which seems unlikely, but possible, or it's more like SI something something E. SI something something E. What? Something like synths, but there's no N. Right? There's no N. Yeah, there's no N. There's something words like singe or something like that, or I don't know what that's gonna be. What could that word be? S-I. We're pretty sure it's S-I something. Unless it's something, S something, something I-E. I can't know what that would be. We've used all the vowels. S-I. I'm pretty sure it's going to be S-I something, something E. It has to use these. S-I. I don't know what that's going to be. Oh, it could be S-I-E something E. Because there could be another E. Oh, there are two E's, dumbass. So it's S-I-E. It's not siege. It has to be sieve. It took me a while, but you have to, once you suss out a word, that's the only thing it can be. And that's good. Okay, the V is actually used somewhere. Nice. Now we know this word is going to be V-O-I something, and it has to be voice. And that's good because it'll give us the C. We're making some progress, but we got a ways to go here. This word on the upper left, I'm thinking just could be Abbott, A-B-B-O-T. Could be a few other things. Okay, we got lucky there. Let's see. Upper right, we know a lot of things. It looks like we only know there's an A and T, but we also know there's a D and an F. D and an F. So I'm thinking that word's going to be draft. We have not used the R yet. Very nice. And the R is used somewhere else. This one's going to be hard. It could just be tooth, T-O-O-T-H, by the way, but I'm going to wait for a second. This one I think we should be able to figure out right away. It's diary. It's spelled out for us. It's not dairy, D-R, which is similar. Diary, fine. We're making very progress. Yeah, okay, now we're down to the last one. Boy, this is a pretty good game. I think it's tooth. Because it fits. But if not, that's a big win. We had an extra guess left over. It looked hard at the beginning. I didn't think I was going to get that. But we've solved all 8 words with 8 guesses. You only get 9. If you blow one, you have to get all the rest right. But here you said I had an extra after tooth. I had an extra guess available. So that's a big win. Let's just go over the big brain games we went today. We started with the the Quirtle, lost, loser. The Quirtle Extreme. Don't win them all. Hey, it was a lose. Went to the Revealed. The Revealed was a big win. Only needed 1 reveal, so that's a big win. We did the Tightrope Trivia. Not a win, but at least I crossed, and it's the hardest one. I got an 7 out of 9 correct. So, you know what I mean? Not too terrible for the Tightrope Trivia. For the Reunion, we got that in 16 moves. And that's a win. 17 is a win. 16 is a very nice win. Then for the Loop, perfect game. Look at that, perfect. Rare to get a perfect, but we'll do it again. They do a new one of these all the time. I'm sure. I think we're starting to get better at the Loop. I mean, it takes a little while to kind of suss out what they're looking for, but eventually it starts to make sense. We did we got a perfect on the connections. I think we did better than average. We didn't win them all, but as I say, never win them all. And if we did win them all, I'd have to substitute in harder versions of the games or harder games because I don't want to get them every time. Little Diet Coke to celebrate the ending of the big brain games. Okay, I'm going to take a short break. I'm going to go into the music category. Like, I want to play some music, just practice my guitar skills and play some guitars. The Loop is fun. There's a couple other games kind of on the horizon, but I don't want to spend too much time doing it. So it kind of packages itself in terms of how much time I want to spend and kind of doing the same thing every time, but having different content, which is kind of a theme of my stream. It's the same every time except for the actual content. I don't know why I'm saying all about that. All right, so I'm going to put my mid-roll on, move my cameras around, and get my guitar plugged in, plug my earphones in. That's what I'll be doing in the next 5 minutes or 3 minutes. So I'll see you on the other side of the mid-roll. Oh, and there you have it. The end of my little thing there. I always like to stick to the intro times. All right, what's going on here? First of all, can you hear me? Yeah. Let me get my camera set up a little better there. All right, so you see. All right, so before we get into the meat of the musical part of the stream, which is usually the end, but today I'll be building some Lego. So I'm just going to dig around a bit. I like to talk about various things. I have a collection of roughly 16 guitars, working guitars. Some like a 12-string acoustic guitar. They're not all the same. I got on the wall up there. I got a 6-string nylon electric guitar, very kind of rare configuration. A bunch of Les Pauls. I got a Telecaster. I got a Stratocaster. Jazzmaster. I got 2 cheap Amazon guitars, Leo James guitars. I got this year because they were expensive and they're really good. But I went to the Sphere this year in March to see my idols play, the Eagles. The Eagles is the band at the Sphere. Musical idols play, including Joe Walsh. And one of the, he played quite a few guitars. They always switch guitars for every single song. But one of the guitars he played during one of his major songs was this Yamaha Revstar. It's a Yamaha. It's a fairly recent 2014 era design. It's been updated a few times. There's a couple different versions and different kind of pickup configurations, but the body stays about the same. It's a really nice new design. It's very ergonomic. It's very well made. This one is made in Indonesia. There's the version that he plays is made in Japan, but they're spec'd exactly the same. They're very, very nicely made. There's a glossy back on a glossy body, but a satin neck. It's very comfortable. The neck has carbon fiber reinforcing rods in it. If you're nerdy about guitars, you might know what that means. Anyway, I've spent a lot of time making sure it's adjusted right. What does it have? Okay, stainless steel frets, dual pickup configuration, dual humbuckers, which is kind of my preferred. You got a 5-way pickup switch, which is interesting because normally you only get 3-way. This one includes phase-shifted versions of the dual pickup configuration. So there's the single pickup on the bottom and the top, and the middle 3 are different versions of whether it's phase-shifted or not, or in series for the 2 humbuckers. And this is phase-shifted. This is phase shift 1, which I really like. Anyway, they designed this for expressive players, which I consider myself. Anyway, the kismet with purchasing this was especially strong because I had a guitar that I didn't like that I purchased from Guitar Center. It was a very nice guitar, Yamaha a Epiphone SG Modern, which is a $650 guitar. But I didn't like it for various reasons, mainly ergonomics. But then they had this one, on sale. This particular colorway is a Guitar Center exclusive. They had it on sale. So I took my guitar that I didn't want and I traded it in effectively for this one. They had to ship this one, but effectively I paid very little for it because I got a couple $100 back from the SG that I didn't want. No more SGs for me. It's about ergonomics. It's a much better guitar. Second here. I'm going to warm up the old vocal cords by singing a song. So remember what I told you about early in the show, which you probably aren't here. So I'll tell you again. Be sure you know exactly where to find the mute button because you're going to want to slam it as hard as you possibly can in a few seconds if you're still here. I gotta put my reverb on to sing. Reverb, just a little bit, but it helps a lot. Okay. Plus, it sounds more professional. Today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. By now, you should have somehow realized what you gotta do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. Backbeat, the word is on the street that the fire in your heart is out. I'm sure you've heard it all before, but you never really had a doubt. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. And all the roads we have to walk are winding, and all the lights that lead the way are blinding. There are many things that I would like to say to you, but I don't know how. Because maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. And after all, you're my wonderwall. Today, it's gonna be the day, but they'll never throw it back to you. By now, you should have somehow realized what you're not to do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. And all the roads that lead you there are winding, and all the lies that lead the way are blinding. There are many things that I would like to say to you, but I don't know how. I said maybe it's gonna be the one that saves me. And after all, you're my wonderwall. I said maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. And after all, you're my wonderwall. I said maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. You're gonna be the one that saves me. You're gonna be the one that saves me. Okay, I'm done with that one. What else do I want to do though? Hey, how you doing? You missed everything. Oh, that's a man brought you life. He came around, but he was dignified. He showed me what it was to cry. Oh, I figured. You got multiple alts. Oh my lord, we're gonna have to follow on this one too. I wonder why somebody needs so many alternate accounts. Why? Oh, I know why. Okay, I'm just gonna do some. Going to do a little karaoke here. By all means, this is not going to be pleasant for anyone but me, and even me. No, pause that one. I want to start with this one, which I was doing here. Okay, pause that. Get the right audio level. Maximize that. Go into the correct category. How are you doing, by the way? If it's not pleasant, it's not pleasant. It's pleasant for me. Beautiful. Yeah, one of your own. You still make them. I thought a man brought you knife. He was warm, came around like he was dignified. He showed you what it was to cry. But you couldn't beat that man I adored. You don't seem to know, don't seem to care what your heart is for. I don't know him anymore. There's nothing where he used to lie. Conversation has run dry. That's what's going on. Nothing's fine, I'm torn. I'm out of vein. This is how I feel. Gold and I am shamed. I am naked on the floor. Illusion never changed into something real. Wide awake and I can see the perfect sky is torn. You're a little late. I'm already gone. So I guess the fortune teller's right. I should have seen just what was there, not some holy night. Probably my veins enough. I don't care. I have no luck. And I don't miss it all that much. There's just so many things that I can't touch. I'm torn. I'm not out of vein. This is how I feel. I'm cold and I have dreams. I am naked on the floor. Illusion never changed into something real. Wide awake and I can see the perfect sky is torn. You're a little lady. I'm already torn. ashamed, down and broken on the floor. You're late, I'm not letting tone home. Sure, give it to me. Absolutely. One of my favorite songs. I've heard it a long time. I love that song though. I mean, I've loved that song since it came out. Let's see what we got here. I'm so into you. I love that song. It's their #1 song. Let's listen to the actual song. There is a karaoke version, but let's see how we do here. I might do the Cole version. Yeah, I'd rather play this on electric and piano. Okay, it's capo 1.
You walked into the room. There was voodoo in the back.
It's F, E sharp, F flat.
I was captured by your style, but I could not get you right. Now I stand here helplessly, hoping you'll get into me. I am so into you, I can't think of nothing else.
All right, let's do the, hold on a second. Let's see how it goes. Oh, it's a different key. What key they have in there? What key is that? Oh no, that's our key. It's the same, it just starts differently. So if nothing else, try it. Gotta know what the intro is. When you walked into the room, there was voodoo in the vibes. Captured by your style, but I could not catch your eyes. Now I stand here helplessly, hoping you'll get into me. I'm so into you, I can't think of nothing else. So into you, I can't think of nothing else. Thinking how it's gonna be whenever I get you next to me. It's gonna be good, don't you know? From your head to your toe, gonna love you all over, over and over. Me into you, you into me into you. Woo-hoo. So into you. Yeah, we'll get in trouble with copyright. I probably will get one in there. So into you. There's a tutorial with your eyes. Stand here helplessly, yeah. Hoping you'll get into me. I should do something like the piano. Go into you. I can't get to nothing else. I'm so into you, baby. I can't get to nothing else. Oh no, no. Come on, baby. So into you. Other things to do. Listen, baby. Driving me crazy. Come on, baby. So into you. Other things to do. Come on, baby. I'm so into you. So into you, yeah, yeah. So into you. I haven't heard the song in a long time. So into you. It has a bit of a. When's gonna end? Fun. All right, back on the regular ones here. Let's see what we want to do. Well, Amy was here earlier, so in honor of Amy being here, Amy QD, I'll be here. Real different song. Same era, by the way. I can see why you think you come to me. I never tried to make you think. Let you see one thing for yourself. Now you're off with someone else and I'm alone. See, I thought that I might keep you for my own. Baby, what you wanna do? I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do. I don't think the time was right for us to fight. All the things we thought weren't proper could be back in time, and can't you see which way we should turn together or no? I can never see what's right or what is wrong. Don't take long to see, baby, what you wanna do. I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do.
away. And all things you thought before just faded into gray. Can't you see that I don't know if it's you or if it's me? If it's one of us, I'm sure we both will see. If you look at me and tell me, baby, what you want to do, I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do. Look at it now, baby, what you want to do. I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do. Falling in and out of love, you. Falling in and out of love, you. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Ooh, I keep falling in and out of love, you. All right, I got to do at least one of my this one. We'll do There She Goes. Capo 3. There she goes again, racing through my brain, and I just can't contain this feeling that remains. There she goes again, pulsing through my veins, and I just can't contain this feeling that remains. Then I'm gonna play some things for a while. I'm not play. Build some Lego. Play. Haha. It's not playing. No. I'm just gonna do this one. It's a short song. I'm not gonna play on the guitar. Croce song. Someday I'll learn on the guitar. Maybe I used to know it, but it's a little tricky. I have to memorize it. If I could save time in a bottle, the first thing that I'd like to do is to save every day till eternity passes away, just to spend them with you. If I could make days last forever, words could make wishes come true. I'd save every day like a treasure, and then again I would spend them with you. But there never seems to be enough time to do the things you want to do once you find them. I looked around enough to know you're the one I want to go through time with. If I had a box just for wishes and dreams that'd never come true, the box would be empty except for the memory of how they were answered by you. But there never seems to be enough time to do the things you want to do once you find them. I've looked around enough to know that you're the one I want to go through time with. Good for the song. It's a good song too. Alright, gonna do some Lego. Maybe some other Jim Croce songs too, but you know, gotta move along. 2 hours in, I got another hour of Lego building. All right, I had a good time doing the music, and I'm going to do it all again, you know, next time, which is, you know, Monday, tomorrow. For any reason I can't stream due to work efforts, I'll put a note in the Discord. All right, let's get here. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to take these off. I don't really need to hear anything. That's for singing. It's very critical to be able to hear your voice. And the reverb is necessary too. There's no way I can sing. I don't sing well, but I can't even sing like that. I can't sing like that in the role without those things. The inner monitor, well, headphones would be fine, but inner monitors are actually better. And you know, some reverb on the mic, you know, and hearing myself really loud. All right, so little Diet Coke left. Gonna have to take 5 minutes here to transform a little space into the Lego. Okay, we're Lego big brick building category here. It's not that hard. Gotta turn a couple lights on, move this camera here. Very good. Camera there. A light here. This goes here. Turn this way here. This way here. Oh, fuck. I dropped it. It's fine. I didn't drop anything. All right, move this over here. Okay, so we're moving around the cameras. Okay, I'm moving my mic around. I've got a couple more things to do set up here. Give me a second or two. All right, put the camera on. This is going to be the camera I'm going to be using, which is basically just a down-facing camera. All right, so what I'm going to do is take my iPad and plug it into my own personal stream. Give me a second to do that. Plug it into my stream, Twitch. Plug there. Different stream. Okay, there we go. You can see I'm watching. Should something? Oh, you're going to the gym? Is that what you said there? No. That's just old Twitch chat, I think. Hold on a second here. I gotta restart this stupid app here. Take another second. It won't take long. Browse. Okay. Show my own category. Thank you. Okay. So now, should someone chat, I can on Twitch. YouTube, no. All right, so let's see. You can hear me. Let's see. I gotta put this up down here. All right, let's get started. Get the instructions. Instructions say to open up bag number 8. Number 8.
over. Actually, put this over here. These are here. Number 8. We only got 2 left. We might finish today, but I might not. See, I have to see how bored, my level of boredom is. It's sometimes after 1 bag, sometimes I can build 2 bags, sometimes after 1 bag, I'm done. But I'm going to try to kind of power through this one pretty quickly. Okay, here's the big ones. I've got 2 small bags here. So these do not go flying off the table. But they won't go far if they do. Okay, so put the big ones here. And let's do the small ones here. Again, I'm trying not to fly out too far. There's another piece in there. I don't want to lose that little piece. I'm trying to hide in there. Perfect. Again, those are going to go here. Very nice. I'll leave this one here. Alright, that is no junk. We got one more. Do-do-do-do-do-do. All right, where's the instrucciones? Here they are. Okay, so we're also going to need some pieces, but that's fine. All right, so we're starting on the finished piece. We're going to put some radar domes there. So we're going to take 2 wrenches and 2 of these radar guys. What are they going to do? Radar dishes, right? To there, and then another wrenchy dude plugs into the other. Like that, I believe. Okay. It shows it sticking out just a little bit. Okay, let's see. Where are these going to go? So we're putting it onto this piece here. Let's see. Pushing, all right, here. It's showing them going on, just clipping onto these little gold guys here. Just like one here, I believe. Well, they do kind of only go one way. And the other one's going to go near it. Like that. Got it. Perfecto. Okay, next step. Do. I'm so into you. This isn't going to sit here, right? Make sure this piece. Okay. All right, so we're going to need this guy. How many? 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1 of some really big cover thing. Here it is. Okay. So this is going to go on not symmetrically on the right side of it. Nope, wait a minute, I was wrong. No, it goes on the right side. This is going to go like that. Put another one of these underneath it. That shape. Oh, decals. Right here. Decals. Okay, number 2, NASA. Okay, so facing this way, NASA reads downward effectively. Okay, so carefully place this down. Perfecto. Alrighty, and that's going to go on the final model. Wait, we got 2 more of these. We got more of these caps to place. Oh, these ones. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Make this part. This is a little finishing part of the only. It's the last part of the kind of the side. Okay, and that's going to go on this thing right here. On the space telescope. Something fell in there. All right, let me take that off. See what happened there. Okay, yeah, this piece came off. Perfect. I mean, it's solvable. Just have to figure out how to get this back on. Okay. This piece is just a little tricky due to alignment, so yeah, that's why this is considered a tricky puzzle. Okay, now we got it on. An 18 plus. Okay, so all together. Yep, and nothing's rattling around in there. Okay, can't really see, unfortunately. A little more that way. I don't know. That's fine. We got decals back there. All right. Oh, we got to read something here. We got something to read. The telescope refined estimates of the Hubble constant, determining that the universe is approximately 13.8 billion years old. By the way, that is still in flux. They haven't quite figured that one out yet. All right, so we want the long ones here, right? Or the short ones. Let's use the short ones. Where are they going to go? Yeah, these are going to go around here, so they're not going to... It is the long ones, right? Well, they go from here to there. Actually, no, it's the short ones. Okay, let's build these. All right, so we gotta take these. We gotta take those little searcher guys, which are gonna be brightly colored. Okay, here they are. So one of those on each side, and they have to be aligned. Okay, one there. I'm gonna take another short piece and build that as well. That one doesn't matter, but this one has to be aligned. Here it is. Okay, so how are these going to be aligned? Align like that. So we have two of these. Perfecto. All right, and then we have to do, okay, a wrenchy dude. Take another wrenchy guy. And then plug him into something. Okay, so we're going to need 4 little barrels. Where are they? I hear these little guys here. Yeah, we 1, 2, 3, 4. 2. There's 2, 3. Here's a 4th one. Okay, so I'm going to have my wrenches and 4 wrenches. Okay, so let's see. Which way do these go in? Okay, that side. So wrench. Or gripper, depending on that side, according to the image. Wrench goes into one of these that way. Wrench goes into one of these. Where's another wrench? They're brightly colored. So they should be easy to see. Should be easy to see. Just spread things out though. Okay, there's that. All right, so now, okay, now these have to go onto here. 1, 2, slip onto there, and then these are going to clip on the outside. 3, 4. All right, now we're going to place these there. All right, so let's put this up here. A little room here. All right, so these are going to be placed. All right, so basically, yeah, one's going to go in here. He's going like that. And then it just kind of wraps around and bends. And this one's going to go in here. Okay, that's actually, that's good as that's going to get. And the other one goes on the other side. This is the easy side. Just put that in there. Like that. And then this one's a little trickier. Okay. That is best as good as go. Be careful, there's some stability issues there. But everything else seems to be good on the inside there. Nice. Okay, next step is, all right, self-assembly. Put this to the side for now. So let's see, we're gonna have to build some stuff. Okay, so we need 8 of these. Whatever, these are little revolvers, but you know, that's what it is. They're also structural parts, but they're actually little guns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. 2 of these guys. 1, 2, right? Here we go. 2 little black things. 1, 2, like rods. 2 of these. No. Okay, what are those pieces? It's not that. Could be this. Oh, could be these. I think those. Perfect. All right, so we start with this upside down, and we snap this in somehow, right? Yep, if it's in. These turn. Supposed to be aligned, probably. Well, now we need 8 of those. All right, so we need these grippers. This is going to be interesting. Hold it like that. The grippers are going to fit in here. So they do. So the grippers can go there and there. This is an interesting little assembly here. Eventually this might be for the solar sails. I'm not sure, we'll see. Okay, so they go across each other like that, right? This is an interesting and difficult. We have to make a bunch of these too. We have to make 2 of these. And these will take a little while, which is fine. Yeah, no huge hurry. I might finish it today. All right, that's interesting, and that's, I think, what it's supposed to look like. It's definitely a tricky little thing to make. All right, now we take the black thing. Oh, dang it. Wet flying. It's right here. Oh, dang it. Let's see, it goes right down the middle. This one came off. Yeah, these are not in very well. Okay, this thing there. All right, now he wants us to put this guy which way? This guy that direction, I believe. In there. And then 4 pistol guys. How? With the handles in there. So like that. That, right? Yeah, with the handles in. And these got, you know, these are definitely pistols. They got little sights and stuff. They're definitely revolvers. Okay, like that. It's supposed to bend a little. All right, so now we got to do another one of those. All right, let's do it again. This thing here on the bottom. This thing here goes this direction. And we got to put these things on here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ricky. Oh, this is going to be hard. Am I doing this right? I think I am. I think I might need a little, I might need to get the pliers, my mini pliers out to make it a lot easier. This last one's really hard to get in. With thick fingers. Okay, made it barely. All right, and then this goes in here. And then, oh, fuck. Jeez. Why didn't that go in there? I'm having a good time though. No worries. I mean, once these are together, they'll probably, hopefully stay together. They won't go flying off. But until then, they will. So you gotta be super careful. Okay, super careful with this part. Carefully place this here. Okay, now they're in there. Perfect. Carefully place this piece so I don't touch those other pieces. I'm touching them. Perfect. I mean, because once these are in here, it seems a little more stable, but not much. Actually, putting these on probably would have made it easier to put those on because they act as a little handle. Anyway, it is what it is. All right. This is probably the hardest sub-assemblies. A little like quadruped type thing there. Okay. So then and these are gonna go mounted on these. Just here. One there. And again, these are, once it's on, it's going to be quite, it kind of holds it in. So all the pieces kind of get held in. I think. All right, just do an adjustment here. Okay, that one looks good. Adjustment here. Yeah, looks good too. Okay, I'm just kind of perfectionist here. Moving on. Okay, now we're finally making the cover of the aperture cover, the thing on the front that keeps it from getting light except when it wants to. That swings away, and this one will swing away, of course. Okay, one of these goes here. One of these goes here. Now we're going to make the interior pieces with smaller radius pieces. There's a small radius corner there, smaller radius corner there, small radius corner there, even smaller radius corner, or curve. And then in the middle, there should be a little half. There it is. Perfecto. Perfect. That's exactly what that is supposed to look like. I love it. All right, next step, 293. Okay, we're going to do 2 3x2 covers. Here's one, here's two. They're going to go here and here. Yeah, 4 more covers sticking off the other way, like 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's not a cover. 3. And where's the 4th cover? There it is. 4. Okay, so it looks like the picture. Very nice. Put it on the bottom. Okay, we're going to need one of this guy here. It's going to go in here somewhere. And then 2 of these guys. One there. And one there. The door. Okay, that's what it looks like in the picture. Okay, so now we're going to need these 2. And these 2. Release the pieces to find. All right, still having it upside down. These are going to go here and here on the sides. And then these would be here. 1, 2. Make it 3 thick there. All right, now we got some grippers to find. Which kind of gripper? These kind of grippers. And how are they going to go? Just basically here and here, I think. Is that how the picture looks? Yeah, that is how the picture looks. All right, so now we need one of not these guys. These over here. These are all the same. What do we need? I need one of, it's this guy here. Fine. Okay. This piece here, those 2 are there. This is going to go on top of them. Clap down. Oh, yeah. It's in the right place. It looks like it is. Okay, moving on. So we're ready to mount the door to the space telescope to the aperture area. And it basically is pretty obvious how that's going to go. And there it goes. So there's your aperture door system for the Hubble Space Telescope. We'll leave it closed for now. All right. Plenty more to build. We still got to build the, These are the solar panels. All right, so we need one of these. Where's this guy gonna go? Okay. Oh, it wants to say. We also have stuff on the bottom. Okay, so facing which way? Facing this way. It wants us to put this piece here. All right, that looks exactly like the picture. And we need to do one of those. Okay. And now we're gonna need. It's not gonna sit that well now, but carpet's fine. Okay, now we're gonna need. Let's see. This and this. Two of these. Perfect. So where are those gonna go? These are basically just decorative. Let's put them on. So how are they gonna go? One decorative piece goes here, and another decorative piece goes the other direction. And then this covers up this piece according to the picture to make that step 301. Step 301 is done. Okay. 302, turn it to the other side. We want to take this piece here and put it below here. I think. Let's show us what to do. It's one of those. Okay, two of these. Go where? Oh. Now we put two more of these on, like one here. And one here. Is that what it's asking us to do? I believe. It's gotta be it, right? Okay, next piece. Okay, now we're building a sub-assembly and put this carefully down on carpet. It won't stand up now because the whole thing is there. All right, we got one of these, one by one gripper, and just a flat, 1 by 1 flat cover. There it is. All right, where are they gonna go? Okay, first put this on there, hanging out there like that, and then put the flat cover there, and the other gripper there, and that's gonna go facing down on this empty spot here. So there's this empty spot here, going with the gripper, to the double gripper facing down, and voila, snaps right in. Perfecto. Next steps. All right, one of these, two of these. These are more decorative items. Are gonna go on here, or things. All right, so this one goes here. This one's gonna go according to the picture, kind of like that. And this item is gonna just cover that up. Perfecto. Very nice. All right, turn things around. Look at the bottom. All right, we're gonna do two of these long ones, I believe. And they're gonna go on the bottom. Let's just see how that looks on the bottom. Yeah, that is doable. Just have to be careful because it's starting to be kind of fragile with doors and stuff that might come off. But these just kind of gonna wrap around like this. Perfecto. Is what it is. Little thingies on the bottom. Again, I think these are kind of for astronauts to grab onto or hook onto, not grab onto. Okay, so those went there. Okay, got those. It's showing it, putting it on the stand now, by the way. How would you, I'm not sure how you put it on the stand. I mean, there is this entry here, which I assume is it, but I should see how that would work. Because I think it's easier to construct if it's on the stand. Let's see. So those are up. Yeah, it does go somehow on here. Oh, going like that, though, right? Maybe you are supposed to put it on like that for now. And this will just help keep this in a place you can see it on loose pieces. All right, let's just figure this out. Okay, so we need 3 of these. 1, 2, 3, right? These are the same. 3 of those. 2 of these. And 1 of these kind of bigger guys here. Here we go. All right, so what we're gonna do here. This one, hold this one like that and put this guy on top of it. And he is gonna go I think here. Yes, but upside down. Yes, like this. Okay, perfect. And these grippers. Okay, so how do we want to do this? This here, but then we put these on top of them. Got it. So they will pick the adapters. And this one has to go in which hole? In this hole here. And this one's going to go in this hole here. Okay, does that look like the picture? No, because this one's oriented differently. This one's oriented in this direction. That looks like the picture. Okay. Now we're doing 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. And these caps are going to go various places. Where are they going to go? Like they're going to cover up this thing here. So I think 1 there. Yeah, it's definitely easier to build it kind of on the stand like this. 1 here. And 1 here. Very good. Okay, I think that's step 308 completed. That was pretty good on the butt end of the telescope here. Oh, decals. Yeah, it's definitely much easier to place these decals when this thing is in a fixed position like this. That's a huge, huge advantage. I guess these are little thruster outlets or something. Close enough. No one can see these. The Hubble has to have thruster systems to keep it in its stable orbit. They won't, it'll naturally decay. And eventually, they do decay and fall out of the sky. That will go, I think, a long time. Unlike that other one. Okay, I think we've used all the decals. Maybe one more. Let's see. All right, keep building. There's a whole nother bag, by the way, but I think we're gonna finish it today. I'm down. Okay, so what do we want here? We got 2 2x1s. There's 2. 1, this round guy here, and this guy with holes, the holy dude. All right, so he's holy cow. He goes there, he goes there, and he goes in the middle. Like that. Perfecto. Where's that gonna go? Okay, facing this way, and right in the middle. Is the correct location for that. Then we have need for 1 of these, and that's going to go in here. Sticks out perfectly. All right, so now we're going to need to build. We don't need, not building them. Oh, these are these 2 kind of weird things. All right, where's this going to go? Interesting-ish. All right, this is what it wants us to do, so I'm going to do it. You plug this one here. Put it down. We're just going to kind of route around here. Well, it points out to the left. Route it around this guy here. And then back onto this guy here, right? A little tricky, but I think I can do it. Maybe not. This might take a minute or two. That's fine. What I think I want to do is put this on here first. And then wrap. Yeah. And then wrap it around here. Right? Okay, I'm just trying to wrap this whole thing the way they want it to. So it goes there. This is going to be, again, here. So, how does it want us to go? Shorter. And kind of around on this side of this guy here. Kind of like that. Okay. That's very close to how it looks in the picture. That's as close as I'm going to get it. Alright, so you one, just kind of this long dowel here. No. Some kind of shorter dowel. Yeah, here it is. Okay. And then two more. 1, 2. These guys. So we get 2 of these. Like that. And that's gonna go, this is gonna be tricky here. Here. And there. So, nice. Just a little weird little detailing, I think. Just visual stuff. Okay, there's a steering wheel. Steering wheel they want us to put on that thing here. Like that. Or they want us to go the other direction. Oh, they did want us to go the other direction. Like this way. Make sure to orient it correctly. This is the correct orientation. According to the picture. That. Okay. Nice. Now it wants us to pick it up and reorient it the other way, I think, like this. And that, which is the actual way you're supposed to, eventually it will be oriented on the stand, I believe. Okay, more building to do. We still haven't built the wing, the solar sails, but that's the last thing. I'm going to do it. I think I can power through it. Get one of these. This goes in the middle, right? Bunch of these. One. How many? 8. 1, 2, 3. How's chat going? Anybody in chat? Nobody's in chat out there. Don't bother. Be done probably like half an hour though. And again, I just want to I'm looking forward to finishing. All right, so this piece looks like that. Turn around and put these guys on it. 1, 2. I need 6 of those. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. And they're in the correct orientation. Now we need 4 of these guys. Right now they're placed. Where are they going to be placed? Like one here. One's going to be here. One's going to be where? You go to bubble there. Oops. There. In right place, please. And where's the 4th one? 2 more on. Okay, put the other 2 on. 1 and 2. Let's make that shape. Is that the correct shape? Looks pretty good. Okay, this is kind of a door that just goes onto here. All right, it doesn't really, I don't think it really connects up to anything in particular. I think it just sits here. I could be wrong. All right, is there an orientation to the door? Yes, there is, and that was the wrong one. Yeah, correct that way. Perfect. Ah, it kind of sticks in. All right. Alrighty, so now we're going to make some antennae. Okay. So first we're going to start with this guy. And we're going to take the T joint, plug that into there. And take this guy, plug that into there. Take another one of these. And now plug the straight guy in there. Okay, and then this guy goes onto him. Okay, so this is the orientation, right, of these pieces here, like that. Perfect. Okay, we have a 1x1 gripper. It's going to go right on there. So that shape. And then one of these will go on here, I believe. That'll stick in there. Put another one of these in there. So make a little radar receiver thingy. Perfecto. And that's going to go where? Okay, right between the doors. So right here. Again, yep, facing that direction even. Okay, perfect. Keep it moving. Bag 9, why not? Wait, I have to do that. Wait, is there 2 of those we do? We do. Yeah, there's 2 of them. So not quite there yet. We're there. We're almost there. Okay, so because yeah, there's too many pieces. Okay, this one goes, and this T goes in that way. This piece goes in that way. There it goes there. There's going to be some other pieces hiding under there. There, this guy goes in here. This fellow goes onto him. This has to be aligned. Perfecto. And this piece goes on that. This guy goes here. This one goes in there. Right. Very nice. Okay, and that one's going to go on the other side. Okay, facing, yeah, perfect. I know exactly where this is going to go. Perfect. Okay, those are in. Lovely. Just want to check something real quick. No, we didn't use this other thingy here. Maybe they gave us an extra. All right. Got to build the solar panels, and we're done. So it's not even a big bag, very small bag. I think these might be extras. So bag number 9, last bag. I'm gonna take a short stand up. Ish. To stretch my legs. And there's something else in here. There we go. And have a little Diet Coke. But I'm gonna finish it. I got plenty of time. I don't know where to be. All right, give me a second. We're very close. We only have like 3 pages here. Sitting for a long time makes my legs really weak. Do 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 do. Diet Coke. Okay. All right, let's power through. Last bag. Solar panels. Let's keep going. All right, so first we need to build the frames. That's going to take a while. The frames that hold the solar panels. Okay. I think we need one of these. And this guy. Okay, so holding this in this direction. Put this guy on like that. Perfecto. And then we have something that looks like that, I think, to go there. We do. Very nice. Okay, we need a 1x1 or 2x2 flat, 2x2 cover. Now we're going to need something that looks a lot like something this is going here. That's going to go in there. All the way, apparently. Good. Okay, so now we need these. Black dowels is the right length. That's going to go in here. Okay, so far so good. Looks like the picture. Okay, now we're going to need one of these. And one of, I think, that guy. Very nice. So let's see. So this goes on like that, and this goes on facing that direction. Very nice. Another one of those black dowels. It's going to go through here. That shape. How are we looking so far? Very good. 325. Just move my stuff over. 325 is done. Okay. All right, so now we're going to need two of these guys. One and two. All right, to make that shape. Very nice. Still looking exactly like it's supposed to. All right. So now two of these longer guys, right? These guys here, the 7s. So we need that one and that one. And they're going to go in here, in here. Very nice. Okay, now we need two of these. 1, 2. And then the shorter barrel guy is this guy. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay, those are slip rings. Those are fine. Still looking like the picture. Let's get two more of these. 1, 2. And then the corner units. So which way do you want the corner units to face? That way. Face that way. Oops, and face this way. Perfecto. Looks exactly like the picture. Yeah, it does. Okay, two more little barrels. That's these. Two of these red dowels. There's these. So let's see. The red dowels go in here. 1, 2. And those guys go in the holes here. In that hole. And this hole. Okay, that's the shape we're trying to build here. Yes, it is. Okay, so more of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfecto. Okay, do I have to build two of those? Well, okay, got it. Okay, one of these with a Revstar. Okay, now so the next piece is these there like this. Okay, so we start with this. Black goes in there. Line, put a barrel over it. Put another one of these over that. And then put the light colored dowels in there. Right, 7s, perfect. 1, 2. It's all color coded. Okay, and then we want to put these on and these over them. Keep those from falling out. This on and this over it. All right, to make that shape. And then we want another set of these slip barrels and a thingy. It doesn't really matter which, as long as these are the same. Okay, a slip barrel and an angle. Okay, perfecto. Then two of these guys go in holes. This is going to go on the frame here. And there. And we have two of these frames. One is built. There's one frame. Looks like the picture, I do believe. Yeah, it does. So, all right, we got to build a second. Well, we'll build a second frame now. Then we'll put the solar shells in, the solar panels in. All right, starting again. Okay, hold this one like that. Put this in underneath it. Another one goes behind it. Flat 2x2 goes on top of it. We need the thingy that looks like that to go in there all the way. Okay, so still looking like the picture. All right, need one black. No, that's too short. This guy goes in there. And then we have this fellow and that guy. This goes on the top of him, and then they go in facing that direction, I believe. Like that shape there. One more of these black guy dowels. That. Okay, so does it look like the picture? Turn it around. Yeah, it's looking exactly like the picture. Okay, one of these is going on here. One of these goes on here. Start building up that frame, the second frame. Okay, so now we need the longer ones. One of these, one of these. One of these. This guy goes on this side. Again, we've done this before, so we're just going to do it kind of quickly-ish. All right, so those two go there. Build that one, and then another slip. And then these have to go facing that way, away from the holder. Slipper guy and a corner guy. Okay, are these facing the right way? Yes, they are. And we're going to put these little dudes in corners here. Basically, that's cosmetic, but that's fine. They're going to hold up. All right, so that goes like that. And then the red ones go in here. Red ones go in here. Two more barrels. Or slippers, slip-ons. Because they turn. I'm going to keep that there. We'll build the last piece here. Starting with this. That goes into there. Flip over. Another one of these. Two whites. Those are these gray guys. Okay. More of the slipper. Slipper, barrel that holds it on, another barrel that holds it on, did one well, we're almost there, okay, another slipper, right, where are the slippers, oh, they're right here, slipper, and yeah, this doesn't matter too much, as long as they're facing the same way, slip on, and these just have to face the same way. All right, and then we've completed the second frame. We're going to put the actual solar panels on and then put the frames on the thing, and it is complete. It has been complete. Okay, so is this the correct final thing? Yeah, we have two of these frames. All right, so what it wants us to do is now take these solar panels Voila, solar panel. It looks like they have to be. Oh yeah, they are in a pretty fancy. They're in a silver. They're in a you gotta take them out of the decal carefully. They don't break the holes. Do this rather carefully. Solar panel number 1. Let's see, according to this, they have to go into. Oh, by the way, I think I needed to do this, right? These need to go in here. I think these are actually for holding the solar panels on. I believe, yeah, you put them there and you put them over here. And then these will hold them in, I believe. Nice. They will. Okay, solar panel number 1. They need 2. Let's take out the solar panel number 2. It is getting tantalizing close to the end of this particular Lego build, but there'll be more in the future. I don't do them too often, but when I see one that just speaks to me, I see a kit that's new and kind of speaks to me in various ways, and it has to be very. It can't be a kit that requires a lot of floor space or shelf space because I just don't have a lot. This, as you can see, is on a stand, so anywhere you can fit that stand, you can put this item, and I have room for the stand, but not much else. I don't have a lot of space. All right, flying pieces. This is basically, I believe, the actual last piece. I mean, once we once we connect them up together. Not this. Okay. They have 2 solar panels there. 2 solar panels. Whee! All right. So how do these go? All right. Well, let's see. It shows them hooking up somewhere near the base there. Near the base. I think. Okay. So it basically shows. Let's see. Well, let's look at it from this angle here, because that's what the picture looks like. So this should be vertical, basically, or around that angle, but it shows it getting pushed into here. And that's... Well, actually, it should fit in there. Come to think of it. It does. You just have to turn it. Come on. Perfecto. Perfecto. And ditto here. Fits in here somehow. Perfecto. Perfecto. And voila. It is what it is. It is the glorious, I think these are extras. Hubble Space Telescope. Again, it's a brand new kit. I'm the first person on the block to build it. Let's see. It's a little, you can take off the base here and you can kind of see it's got the panels. The panels move. All right, the door, the aperture door opens like that. You can see inside. There's stuff. There's these doors that come off for, for servicing. Here, like this door comes off here. You can see the insides of it. Put the door on. There's a couple other doors. This door here comes off. It's kind of invisible. You have to know it comes off, and it shows like interior of the camera space area there, not the camera. Well, where the cameras would be, because there's the main mirror, and then there's it reflects back onto a camera assembly, and that's where the focusing actually happens, which is important because the main mirror was not ground correctly. And so they had to. It was not. There was nothing they could use it for initially. It was not. You couldn't use the. You couldn't use the telescope until they put a new camera module in there that corrected for the incorrect mirror. It's a long story. You could read it up. Okay, but they did what, 7 servicing missions or 6 servicing missions? How many? It says here. I guess it's 5 servicing missions. 1993. That's the one to get it working. 1997, 1999, 2002, I think, to raise it up in orbit a little bit, and 2009, which is basically the last flight of the shuttle. Yes, SM3A and B, like a 2-part surfacing mission. It's still up there though. It is a beautiful model up close, very detailed, lots of stuff going on. Lots of, a little bit delicate, but it's gorgeous. It's not something you want to pass around like a football. But I'm glad I completed it because I want to move on. Okay, let me get my camera here. Whew. Okay, so that was. Do I have the Lego? By the way, somebody was talking and I missed it. Do you have the Lego Eiffel Tower? There's several Lego Eiffel Towers. There's a really humongous one. I don't know if you're still here. But then there's the small one. This is the small one, Eiffel Tower. It's a little dusty, but this is the small one. There's a huge one that's I think 5,000 pieces. I'm all sweaty. But I do have the small one. It's a pretty cool kit. It's a nice kit. It's a fun kit. I've got quite a bit of Lego. So, you say, do you have a Lego? Someone was asking me the day yesterday, I think, what is the biggest Lego kit I had? And I kind of had a brain freeze. It's pretty obvious that the biggest kit I have was I don't have it here. It's at the office. It's the Saturn V Lego. It's a really famous kit. That's the kit that kind of got me into building these expensive, fancy Legos. It's the Saturn V. It's really huge. Jesus. That's embarrassing. I don't even care. Who cares? It's summer, but it's not that cold. It's not that warm out. It's not that warm in here. It's warmer outside. All right. Well, that was what we got. Like 3 hours in, and they let you bring in the office. Yeah, thank goodness they do. I have a guitar in the office. And I have my Lego in the office, and I have some artifacts. Like I have a red stapler in the office. I don't know if people know the significance of a red swing line stapler. Some people do, and I have an original HP 16C, which is the programmer's calculator that I got in the 80s. It still works. Pretty amazing. Anyway, yeah, tomorrow I'll be working from home on a Monday, so I'll take a break out from the flying. I'll take out from the working to do some flying and to play the big brain games and to maybe play the piano for a while, but there will be obviously no Lego building. It's done. I'll show it off a little bit. But yeah, it'll be fun. And thank you. I appreciate that, Robbus. I thought, as usual, I don't want the stream to be amazingly great, because if it was amazingly great one time, I'd have to make it, I'd have to try to live up to that, So if they're just mediocre every time, I'll have to get to the level of mediocre, and I'm satisfied with the stream. Which today, satisfied with the stream. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Flew in our helicopter, played the big brain games, played the guitar for a while, tried to sing. It was not good. That was okay. And then finished up the Hubble Space Telescope. Let me just show it here on the big camera while I got it. This is including the stand. The stand is there. The stand's stuck to it, but it'll fall out if I kind of do. You can kind of see it there. It's a very elaborate kit. A lot of the stuff that's most interesting, there you go, is on the inside. It didn't break or anything. But the one thing about this kit, what you don't realize, is that because of the way it's designed on the bottom, you can kind of see how you can't sit it on its butt. It has to go into here. Let's see if I can figure out how this thing goes again. It goes this way. Like that. Okay. And it shows for some reason there's a door there. I don't think it's necessary. But so you can't. So you need to sit it on the base, or it won't sit. There's no possibility of sitting on its ass, which is fine. It's not designed for that. But the base works fine. Anyway, so I had a great time. I'm gonna give a cheer and say thank you for coming by. A lot of people came by today, which is kind of wacky. I'm so glad we had this time together, just to have a laugh or sing a song. Seems we just get started, and before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long. See you next time.